I was there when Lauren Southern travelled to Romania with Andrew Tate. I was in the hotel room next door. When I walked out in the morning when we were leaving, Lauren Southern's at the door kissing him. Okay? So when you read what she says there, like he's raped her, that's what she's implying. It's a bit weird to be kissing him on his door. You're not listening, are you? I'm saying I saw her kissing him. Yeah? Then she messaged him the whole time. I was with her in the car. Then she went back out to Romania to see him again. That's what I'm saying.
You see, the only problem with that little tale, Tommy, is you took the story too far. If you just kept it to kind of things that couldn't really be proven, you might have gotten away with it too. But I happen to have travel documents that directly disprove this claim, 100%.
Tommy Robinson continues to run defense for his self-confessed sex trafficking child predator mate, Andrew Tate. For those that aren't aware, Tommy Robinson and Andrew Tate are longtime friends, going way back to their days growing up in Luton, England. Since Tate was arrested and charged with human trafficking, rape, among other crimes, Tommy has consistently defended his mate, saying that he doesn't believe the allegations against him, and attacking Tate's alleged victims, saying that they've been paid to say that Tate raped and violently assaulted them. The most recent target of these attacks from Tommy Robinson has been Lauren Southern, who in June went public with her allegations that in 2018, when Tommy Robinson took her with a group to Bucharest to meet the Tates for a supposed business meeting, she was violently sexually assaulted by Tate. When Lauren went public with these allegations with the release of her book and a free Substack article that included the chapters detailing this part of the story, Tommy Robinson came out heavily in defense of his mate, saying that he saw Lauren Southern kissing Tate the next morning in the hotel.
When I walked out in the morning when we were leaving, Lauren Southern's at the door kissing him.
And that he knows for a fact that Southern later returned to Romania to meet up with Andrew Tate.
Then she went back out to Romania to see him again.
Tommy says that these things are conclusive proof that Lauren Southern is lying about being raped by Andrew Tate. Last week, Lauren Southern dropped a video responding to Tommy Robinson's claims that she is lying about this story.
Tommy! Long time no see. I appreciate you taking the time to respond to the claims I made recently with a video of your own, of you, and podcast interviews.
The thing about people who lie constantly, like Tommy Robinson, is that it is impossible for them to carry on like this without getting caught out in a lie.
Though I have been wondering how I am going to disprove all the creative writing that you and others have been doing about me on the internet lately. And you know, in a lot of cases, I really just can't. Like, it's he said, she said. And you're a very good speaker. You can say things very convincingly to the camera, like they're true, make a good story for people. But then I realized as I was kind of listening to the little fictions you were writing about me and what happened in Romania, you kept saying that you know for a fact I traveled back to Romania. You said it multiple times on multiple podcasts, on X, and little videos you took. You know I traveled back to see Andrew, and that's how you know that I'm a liar. That's why people should believe you that I'm a liar.
Then she went back out to Romania to see him again. I know she went back out to see him. She went back out to see him. She goes back out to see him. She flew back out to see him.
You see, the only problem with that little tale, Tommy, is you took the story too far. If you just kept it to kind of things that couldn't really be proven, you might have gotten away with it too. But I happen to have travel documents that directly disprove this claim, 100%. I went once to Romania with you, one entry, one exit, in 2018 when you took me to a business meeting to meet your pimp friend.
Lauren Southern's passport shows that she has been to Romania once, entering and exiting only that one time in 2018 when Tommy Robinson brought her to Bucharest for a so-called business meeting with Andrew and Tristan Tate, and she has receipts. Here is a statutory declaration that Lauren's lawyer signed, which I've been given access to, with her lawyer confirming that her passport only contains 2 stamps from Romania, indicating that she has only ever travelled to and from Romania this one time in February 2018. For anyone watching this unfamiliar with how a stat dec works, a lawyer signing their name to this is the equivalent of them testifying under oath. You can see that I've censored out the name and the details of the lawyer and the law firm to ensure that I don't dox Lauren's lawyer. However, I can confirm that I have verified that this is a real lawyer working for a legitimate law firm. The counter-argument I got to this from some of Tommy Robinson's supporters in the replies of my post of this on Twitter is that this isn't evidence because I didn't get my passport stamped when I went to a country this one time. For this situation, this really doesn't fly. This simply isn't going to happen with multiple visits and departures from Romania, especially not 5+ years ago, which it would have to be because Tommy has been saying this for years. But regardless, guess how many receipts Tommy has provided that Lauren Southern returned to Romania to see his mate Andrew Tate? 0. If you're a supporter of Tommy Robinson and you do actually care about the truth, you should be asking him to explain himself.
And here's the thing, Tommy, I don't even think you could give a date when I went back. I don't think you could even give a ballpark. Not least of all because you just made it up, but also because you would trip over another lie, another location I was at. Seriously, if you are a follower of Tommy's and you believe his version of events and the things that he's saying about me, ask him. Say, Tommy, hey, when did Lauren go back to Romania? Ballpark, not even exact day. Don't need that. Week, month even. He won't be able to give you an answer because he lied. And every single thing he has said in the past few months, I guess it's been years now, about me, has been to cover his own ass and to cover for his sex trafficker friend. Like I said, I may not be able to disprove every single fabrication you've told about me. That's just he said, she said. But I can disprove this one. And I'd like to think when it's something this serious and a lie that big, it'll make intelligent people think twice about all the other things you're saying about me.
In her video, Lauren brought up one of the stupidest things about Tommy's claims, his idea that even if she did kiss him in the hotel the next morning, and later travel back to Romania to see him, it would mean that she is definitely lying about being assaulted by Andrew Tate.
And you know, the craziest part to me is that even if the rest of the stuff you made up, like that story about seeing me in the hotel, or, you know, even going back to Romania, even if that stuff was true, it wouldn't discount anything else that I said. It wouldn't.
Tommy Robinson is meant to be the grooming gang journalist who is there to stick up for British women and girls. Yet, going by his exact logic, if it turned out a grooming gang victim he covered ever kissed their abuser, he would put them on blast in Twitter videos, saying that they are not a victim and accusing them of being a liar, especially if the alleged predator turned out to be his mate. Another valid question which Lauren suggests Tommy's supporters should ask him is what was the first thing she said to him when he saw her in the taxi the next morning.
And I hope people press you on this. I hope they ask you, when did she go back to Romania, Tommy? Even better, what was the first thing she said to you when you saw her in the taxi in the morning? Why won't you answer that? Because this is serious. It's not just about us. There are 40+ victims, known victims, women and girls, British women and minors, the very people you claim to protect. This isn't just about our egos or our reputations. This is a much bigger case than that. Like, seriously, if you're watching this, forget about me. I'm a mess. I'm a mess.
What was the first thing that Lauren told Tommy the next morning in the taxi? It was reportedly that Andrew Tate had assaulted her the previous night. And this is not he said, she said. Two of Tommy Robinson's producers at the time, Kaylin Robertson and George Llewellyn, were also in this taxi and have corroborated that Lauren said this. Both even did so on record with the New York Times. Everyone else who was there said this happened, but according to Tommy, all Lauren did when she got in the taxi was this.
Then he walked her down. We all walked down, yeah? Then she messaged him the whole time. I was with her in the car.
But anyways, the point is, regardless of what you think of me, you can think I'm an absolute unhinged mess. That's fine. I probably am to a degree. Regardless of that, you are being lied to. You are being lied to by people who are stealing your money, defending sex traffickers and covering up their crimes, and who have very different missions privately than what they are telling you their missions are publicly. And there are a lot of people at the forefront of this political world who are just using you. And I see so many people walking into it just without questioning, oh, they're not the mainstream media, so these people would never lie to me. What do you mean?
Next in her video, Lauren covered a claim that Tommy has been making for a long time about the alleged rape and sex trafficking victims of his mate, Andrew Tate.
Let's address another little claim you keep making.
Andrew Tate's attempted takedown called Hope Not Hate. I know that they pay people tens of thousands of pounds. They liaise between the media and the person. So they'll go give a girl 20 grand. Then they'll line up BBC to interview the girl. So BBC's hands are clean. They haven't paid anyone. I'm sitting talking, I think, how much have you been paid? They pay the girls. And I guarantee you they've been in contact with every girl Andrew Tate's ever contacted. I guarantee you.
You keep saying on all these podcasts that these 40 plus women are being paid off. I know I didn't get paid. And I know that there's no proof for any of the other women getting paid, the 40 plus other known victims. Unless you have some, feel free to post it. No one's getting paid. Except for you, actually. You got $30,000 from the Tate brothers, which is really curious. Or is it just 30 pieces of silver? You'll have to remind me. Seriously, though, the only ones who seemingly are getting any money for any of this conversation are the ones supporting the sex traffickers.
Tommy has provided no evidence that Tate's alleged rape and sex trafficking victims were paid off. His narrative makes no sense, especially when you consider the testimony of everyone else who was with them on that trip to Bucharest in 2018, and the fact that Lauren Southern has medical reports from back then in 2018, detailing injuries from what many women say is Tate's favourite method of abuse, violence, strangulation.
And you know, even just the whole notion or idea that this was like a setup or a hit job by these left-wing NGOs is so absurd when you actually take more than 1 second to think about it. Like, were they clairvoyant? I need you to explain this to me. No one knew who Tate was back in 2018 when you took me to see him for this business meeting. And yet that same year, I go and get a hospital report documenting strangulation 5 years before it would be reported publicly that that was what he did to other victims who, like, there are reports back before he was even on Big Brother. So is the idea that, you know, these left-wing NGOs came and found me and we all took a time machine back to 2018 because they needed that report then to do a hit job on him now in 2025? What are you talking about? It makes no sense. Like, I just knew that that was going to be the method that he used on other girls.
It's very interesting that Tommy presented this trip to Bucharest in 2018 to meet with his self-confessed sex trafficking pimp friend as some sort of serious business meeting. Tate's leaked war room group chat messages suggest that he saw it quite differently.
And lastly, let's touch on the fact that you brought me out to Romania under the guise of a business meeting to meet this guy, Andrew, that you claimed was a stand-up dude and was totally going to invest in this business project, this, you know, what was it called? The Front, the kind of media project that we were going to work on together. It was a totally legitimate business meeting that you were taking me to. I just have one question about that. What kind of business investor brags in a chat group after said business meeting that he was never going to invest a fucking dime because he's a pimp who doesn't give girls money? Maybe someone who was never a business investor in the first place and was actually just a pimp who was never going to invest a fucking dime. I know, wild theory.
One piece of pushback I've seen in my videos and posts about Lauren Southern's allegations against Andrew Tate is that if it is true, she should shut up and leave it to the courtroom. Lauren gave a response to this very silly talking point.
And also, I keep seeing this absolute moronic take of, Lauren, you should leave this to the courts. No one should talk about these things unless it's in a courtroom. But the sex trafficker should get to speak all day long on major networks, slandering the 40+ victims as much as he wants. Well, they don't have a voice. Well, these people remain anonymous. Well, they remain quiet. And he says they're fake, they're being paid, they're whores, they're this, they're that, all day long. Well, Tommy gets to lie about me, completely invent things that happened. I guess I'm just not supposed to respond. Yes, leave it to the courtroom. Unless they're the sex trafficker, then don't leave it to the courtroom. Oh, and by the way, the courtroom in the country that the guy moved to specifically to get away with crimes. The courtroom where even if they ruled against him and all of his supporters would say was just a Matrix attack. Of course, if it ruled for him, they'll be like, this was justice served. It's like Schrodinger's effing Matrix. Good thing happen, not Matrix. Bad thing happen, Matrix. Such unbelievable levels of idiocy. I don't understand how anyone is falling for it. Truly.
Lastly, Lauren had a message for the Tate's bumbling, greasy clown of a lawyer, Joseph McBride, in response to this rambling, ChatGPT-generated defamation threat that he posted to Twitter after Lauren Southern went public with her allegations against his degenerate client.
And McBride, I almost forgot about you. Very forgettable, but I loved your ChatGPT statement. I thought it was fantastic, but it's been 2 months and there's no defamation case. Where's my lawsuit? Where is it? Not even a cease and desist letter? Not even a please stop? Come on, sue me. You said you would. You said you would, but I don't think you want to because it might confirm a bit too much evidence that you're hoping the public don't know exists yet. But it does, we both know it. Good luck. Sue me.
So there we have it. I will be sure to share any further updates in this developing story, but all the evidence is pointing towards Tommy Robinson once again lying to his followers to run defense for and protect his degenerate, self-confessed sex trafficker friend. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the production of this content, as well as subscribing, you can join as a member. As a member, you'll get perks such as early access to some videos and members-only content coming soon. I will also leave the link in the description to the crowdfund to support our legal defense against Andrew and Tristan Tate. For those that aren't aware, the Tates are suing me and a number of other individuals on social media because they say our posts have caused them severe emotional distress. If you'd like to read about the lawsuit or make a donation, you can go to www.truthversustate.com.